There are thousands of DOS games. Most of them are terrible. I play one selected at random with a 20-minute time limit and record it live. This is the result. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another random DOS game show. And this is Prophecy of the Shadow by SSI. So that's a good sign already. I have never heard of this game. Popped up randomly and I said, yep, I'll take it. Without looking, without knowing anything about it. So press enter to continue. Please consult your game manual. What's the third word? I think I'm just going to randomly hit the keyboard. Oh my goodness, it worked. So let's start a new game. Enter your characters of a world name. Lawnie. Choose your sex. Male. In your youth, did you use your time to play with a friend, study your books, or balance both pursuits? So that reminds me of the Daggerfall question and answer scenario to develop a character. Let's balance both. How did you learn to handle your village bully? I was the bully. Learn to avoid him. Okay, you have a choice of 3 options in your academy's intramural activities. Well, I did play chess. I wasn't very good at it, but you know. You have just started your journey when your master Larkin stops. Wait here, he says, as I lock up the house. Suddenly a dirk, which is a form of dagger, flies out of the west and strikes Larkin, sending him reeling. You pull the poison dirk out of your master's chest. He gasps his dying breath. I fear I will never make it to the council. Get the text of the prophecy from Baron. It must go to the council in Silverdale. Retrieve my catalyst. You will need it for... He dies in your arms and you bury him behind the house. And fade to black, and we're back. So, that's how we start. We've got a poison dirk. You see a tree. Okay. The arrows control our movement. And we are permanently stuck. But it's got the same movement as the Lord of the Rings. Or... you know, that lesser RPG that wasn't as good. Ultima. Yeah, that's bait. I know. So, we're able to just wander about the game world. Okay, this is already up my alleyway. Though it's worth noting that if your cursor leaves the actual map screen, you can no longer, drag it across and, move through the world. So, our health, agility, and magic are there. We've no arrows, silver food, lamp oil, or torches. And we've got ourselves the dirk. So, this is the little side thing where we can look at things. There's a welcome mat. So, can we just wander on in? No, we need to open the door. You see a roof. Welcome mat. Very, very Ultima. So, the door is locked. So that button there, I don't know what this little square means. Just gonna ignore it for now. Is used to open doors. I think most of this is self-explanatory. So you've got look, talk, fight. You don't know any spells, so that's cast magic. I don't know about that one. Maybe drop, investigate, pick up, and sleep. So let's just randomly go into who knows where. So that's some sort of field. Let's head this way. I mean, the game's only giving us a few options, right? So let's go down the path. I'd have thought there would have been some sort of village, but apparently not. Unless I'm headed in the wrong direction. Okay. So far, impressions are good. This engine isn't like anything else I can remember from SSI. There's the water. We're on the beach. You know, once your master's dead, and you've had to bury him. What do you do? Let's just go for a nice casual stroll along the beach. I hope there aren't any wolves here or something. That's kind of your default fantasy enemy, isn't it, you know? It's not a proper high fantasy RPG if you don't have a pack of wolves to fight. Well, I'm going along the coastline. I don't know if there's an auto map or anything, which could be a problem, but some purists like games that don't have maps. You know, the CRPG enthusiasts, a lot of them don't like quest markers, others don't like maps, and there's some sort of tube there. You see a post. Okay. Can we investigate the post? Nope, it's just a post. Okay, so maybe that's some kind of dock, because there's 2 posts there, which would indicate to some kind of transport ship, hey, go this way. Maybe I buried the house key with my master's body. That would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? Yep, I'm just wandering around. So, the opening level is not filling me full of confidence. There is a path here, so I'll do the logical thing, and I'll head along this path. But usually with these high fantasy types, you need, right off the get-go, to have a very, very simple exploratory area. Okay, I'm past 2 more posts, and I'm traipsing off. Yep, there doesn't appear to be anywhere to go there. So, I guess we'll follow the path back the other way. Stunning, exciting action, courtesy of a random DOS game show. Though it's worth noting that with a lot of these RPGs, there is a bit of a slow start. You know, it's not an immediate ramp up. Hey! Is that a person? Hello there! The peasant looks at you strangely. I'm liking these little animated characters. So this is the conversation screen, and I can give him things as well. So let's say hello. What do you want? This island is called Bannerwick. There's a forest to the north of town, but I wouldn't go there if I were you. It's rumoured that Robin One-Eye's men still patrol the woods. Woods being patrolled by a man called Robin? Well, that's inventive. Barkin, we're all saddened by his death. I hope the sheriff can catch the one who did it. We should not have saved that snivelling brat. If we had, we would still have our healer. Am I the snivelling brat? Maybe. Also, the music has stopped. Island. What island do you mean? Named after the town's founder, Dandy Bannerwick. That's very Lord of the Rings. Who discovered it quite by accident. Robin One-Eye, yeah, I remember when he disappeared. Big scandal. Turned to a life of crime and made a name for himself. I've heard the sheriff has a lead on capturing him. So you have a man hiding in the woods who's an outlaw called Robin, and a sheriff who's after him. Interesting. Yes, woods. Okay, bye. Thank you for demonstrating the conversation screen. Hey, there's somebody else. Let's just talk to everybody. You look awfully familiar. You look identical, in fact, to the previous peasant. So, there, we've made it to the town. So, what's that? The sign reads, Ye Oldie Pawn Shoppy. It's probably shop. There is probably a way to toggle through these, but I'll just... look, you can buy things. It's buy healing potion. The pawnbroker looks you over. Cost you 200 silvers, he says, but you ain't got it. Okay, so we can hit escape to exit out of that and leave. We didn't want to buy stuff from you anyway. What about this? You see a door, yes. I'm right-clicking when I should hit that. Hello there. A meal, drink, or lodging. What can I do for you? So, Bruce Bandylegs. Hey, is that the guy who founded the town, or is that... I can't remember the name. Work. You perform odd jobs for the innkeeper and he pays you 10. Oh, sweet. I didn't... I thought he was going to suggest work, not just immediately work. Hit me with some rumours. It is rumoured that old Robin One-Eye kept his treasure hidden from his band of illiterate cutthroats. They're really, really hyping up this Robin One-Eye guy. Their camp is just north of town. Be careful, they still patrol the woods. Woods? The villager just stares at you. Why? I like that. You know, usually people would answer the most stupid of questions in an RPG, but in this one it's like, are you touched in the head? Why are you asking such a stupid question? So if we head north, we'll head towards Robin One-Eye's woods and find out more about this Robin One-Eye character. Let's just randomly barge in. This offers food, lamp oil, and torches. Does the sign say something? Bannerwick Mercantile, or Mercantile, depending on how you want to speak and say things. I'm just going to go across, just that, across a little bit more, and then I shall head north. What's this? Bannerwick Jail, do not feed the felons. Oh, tempting. What do you want? The prisoner snarls, grasping for you. Luckily, the bars hold him back. Hello. What do you want? That's my name. Don't wear it out, quips the surly prisoner. You wonder how he came up with that one. So he's claiming to be Robin, but Robin is being sought by the sheriff. This isn't bad for a prison, if you like rats and lice. Care to share my meal? No. No, I do not. Oh, that stone has a face. You see a men here. Well, that clears that up. I love random fantasy information. See, this would have come with a manual, which would have been like, Lawnie, you're doing it all wrong. First you've got to do this, and then you've got to do that. And it would essentially be a written tutorial as to what you're meant to do in this world. Another sort of peasant guy. I take it you're exactly the same. Yep. Nothing interesting there. Bunch of houses. Let's just randomly barge in, because why not? Nobody's currently at home. Hey, you're moving. These peasants, they're moving. That is actually an upgrade from Lord of the Rings, where the peasants wouldn't really move about. That's pretty cool. Soundtrack-wise, there only appears to be the one track for this town, which is, I wouldn't say disappointing. It's just, I can imagine it would get repetitive. But you know, if you're very young and this is your first RPG, I'm sure you wouldn't mind it. Let's head north into the woods. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing bad so far. Uh-oh, I thought I got stuck there. Yep, this is sucking me in, as you can imagine. This is right up my street. Hasn't, wowed me, but it's done enough that I'd want to keep playing. I also like that I can control it. Almost, there's nowhere to go from here. Okay. That I can control it with my hand. That is very good. Because previously, when I would try and control a game like this, aha! The bandit! Ah! So, I'm about to die. And this is the combat system. You hit the thing. And then, I think he keeps auto-attacking. Lawnie, don't attract... no, he doesn't keep auto-attacking. You have to specify each time. Unfortunately... I'm about to die. Yes, there we go. I mean, that's a logical place to stop. So, presumably what you needed to do there was upgrade yourself, level up a bit, buy stuff from the stores, and then take on the bandit before heading up and discovering Robin One-Eye. So I'll go to the main menu and we'll talk a little bit about this game. So, what is Prophecy of the Shadow? Well, it's heavily inspired by the likes of The Lord of the Rings, Ultima 6. I'd say primarily Ultima 6 would have been the big inspiration. And it's nice, it's decent. It's got that whole sort of top-down mouse-controlled vibe to it, and it's another sensible addition should you enjoy those kind of period games from the early 90s. Unfortunately for Prophecy of the Shadow, it would come out around the same time as Ultima 7, rendering it completely obsolete. But if you can accept that Ultima 7 is the absolute peak of that genre and nothing will come close to touching it, and you want to play something that, isn't too bad for a sort of generic high fantasy RPG, then SSI have a good reputation. There's a nice soundtrack here. There seem to be some interesting systems in play, the engine isn't too bad, and the graphics are tolerable. I especially liked the little FMV almost style character movements and stuff, but at the same time, there was just something missing, and I think the thing that was missing the most was me reading the manual beforehand. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I think I'd give this a go if you were heavily into that genre. I don't see it popping up on the all-time best RPG lists, but it looks perfectly playable and perfectly enjoyable if you've run out of all the others and don't fancy a replay of them anytime soon. And if you like us talking about random DOS games, we do it all the time. Feel free to check out the other guys, they do great work. And if you like what you see there, you can always subscribe. So yeah, I felt like I was just scratching at the tutorial level of this, didn't really get far enough to do it justice. There might be a really interesting RPG in here, but I'll leave that to somebody else to find out. Until next time.